Hello, I'm Panos Kotsathanasis and this is Asian Movie Pulse Interviews. Today I'm here with Hyung-taek Lim and So-hee Kim, whose stage play Medea and her double is currently playing in InlanDimensions in Wrocław. How are you guys?
I'm fine. Yeah.
I'm fine. Yeah. Okay, so first question, why Medea?
Why Medea?
Why Medea?
Even though it's an ancient Greek story, I think those kind of tragic story happens all the time, even in modern day life. I guess I'm seeing those kind of conflicts between man and woman, and reality and imagination, and love and hatred. Even I saw the relationship between my mother and my father. They were not really happy to each other. But my mom all the time tried to be patient. I know that she has an anger inside, and sometimes trying to revenge. But she kept it secret all the time, throughout the whole her life. Mm-hmm. And I took that Medea story, mm-hmm. a kind of mirror of ourselves. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of beginning of the long journey.
Mm-hmm. And why did you decide to have this concept with the double?
That's also a kind of discovery, or kind of my own perspective. When I see a person, my mother, or even including myself, mm-hmm. I have an evil side, an angel side.
You?
Inside of me, mm-hmm. I feel that all the time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And even in my mind, I have a very opposite direction. Sometimes I'm trying to be very profane. Sometimes trying to be sacred. So those conflicts between profanity and sacredness, I'm struggling with those two opposing sides. Mm-hmm. And when I look at the text of Medea, I try to see her not just a person who's betrayed and tried to revenge, but what about her side as a mother? Mm-hmm. Does she really give up a function of the mother? And the kind of text, I think, reflects the mother side of Medea as well. Mm-hmm. So I thought that I want to see the inside of Medea, torn between her presence as a mother and the other presence as a lover. Mm-hmm. So that's why I put that two Medeas on stage simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And can she tell us a bit about her character? How would she describe her character in the play? If she could answer to this.
From her?
Yes, yes.
그렇게 나눠진 메데아를 어떻게 캐릭터를 만들어 나가려고 배우로서 노력을 했는지.
이게 메데아 1과 메데아 2가 계속 어떻게 만나고 어떻게 헤어지고 하는 것에 대해서 아직도 사실은 완전히 다 해결했다고 배우로서 생각하지 않고 있는데, 이 두 개의 어떻게 만나고 어떻게 헤어지는가 한 인간의 다른 측면이 그것에 가장 많이 집중을 하고 거기가 가장 중요하다고 생각합니다.
Even though she's still struggling with she all the times having wrestling with that idea, what is the distinction between two, mm-hmm. as a mother and as a lover? She doesn't have perfect answer yet, but she's trying to, when they are confronting together, the mother side and lover side, when they are depart from each other. So she was focusing on those specific moments, unite, or reconciliation, and depart. So I guess that's what I also saw from her acting, that she's trying to, not throughout the whole scenes, but those moments of depart and reconciliation. So that's what she's trying now.
Well, I guess the next question is for both of you. And in the end, if you would describe Medea, would you say she's evil or a good person that was just did something very stupid, bad, or whatever?
I was trying to not forcefully, I'm not forced to have those characters to be united again, but I wanna put my notion or conceptual belief that as a person, as a human being, the opposite side can talk to each other, can communicate with each other, and also as a person, we all the time trying to be reconciled and seeking for those reconciliation. And I believe that that's possible. That's why I put that the last moments, they are voying, they on the same ship and trying to go on another journey together and imagining their children days. So that's my belief that we can go another journey, seeking those reconciliation. 질문이 그렇게 둘을 갈라놨는데 좀 우스운 질문이 될 수도 있지만 누가 악이고 누가 선이냐 그런 명확하게 있는지 이제 나는 연출자로서 배우로서 혹은 둘이 결합되거나 꼭 떨어져야 되는 건지 그냥 좀 우스운 질문이지만 그러면 궁금했대.
사실은 그냥 메데아가 한 행동을 보면 납득할 수 없고 용납할 수 없는 그런 부분이 분명하게 존재한다고 생각합니다. 그런데 우리의 어떤 일상의 삶은 행동으로 이루어져 있지만 사실은 행동하지 않는 어떤 세계, 다 밖으로 발화되지 못하는 어떤 세상, 영혼, 공간 이런 것이 있기 때문에 그 부분에서 이 작품은 그 행동 그 자체가 중요하다기보다는 그 행동을 가게끔 하는 그 과정이 조금 어떤 결과보다는 그 과정에 더 집중하고 그 과정을 더 찬찬히 들여다보는 작품이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 이게 뭐 어떤 것이 악이다, 선이다 라는 것보다는 그것이 계속 왔다 갔다 하는, 조금 전에 얘기했던 좀 전까지 나는 데브리였다가 엔젤이 되는 그런 것처럼 그것이 왔다 갔다 하는 그 과정의 모호함이 사실은 저는 이 작품의 특징 중에 하나라고 생각합니다.
This is what she said. As a person, she cannot forgive her, Medea, who are killing her children, and she cannot accept her attitude, behavior. But as an artist, she thinks that this Medea production is not about differentiate that evil from angel. And she thinks that even though she eventually tried to kill her children, during that process, she has another soul that bothers from killing those children. And think about what is human, what is our relationship, and those spiritual space, that's what she's struggling with. So even though she likes about the idea of productive ambiguity, between not clear distinction between angel and evil. Even though her action took place, like we saw her killing her children, but the process is quite important. It requires a kind of spiritual sort of approach, and I think she thinks that Medea and his double, the most important characteristic aspect is that space.
And tell me a bit about Jason, because what I got from the play is that he's a bit buffoon, a bit of stupid, like he hasn't control over his life. He's being swooned here and there. Was that how you want to portray him?
Somehow, yeah. Sometimes I see many of our politicians or lawyers. Sometimes I have seen those type of personality among my friends even. And when they start learning law or learning politics, they have dream, they have vision, and they take that sort of justice as a most valuable perspective. But once they get the power in our society, they've been slowly changing. They are addicted to that power. They getting addicted to those territory, and they cannot get out of those territories all the time. And then they started, take that position as their own regime, and does not really consider that what is the essence of the law, what is the essence of the politics. That's actually to protect our human being, our commune. But sometimes they become tyrants, or they become evil character. And during those period of changing, metamorphosis, I think the way of their speech becomes different, and they know how to technically to tell a lie. So that actually, to me, it's quite funny.
Okay.
So that's why I put the character as a sort of,
Fool.
in a way.
So, okay, again, the question for the both of you. So, in the end, do you think that Jason deserves what Medea does to him at the end?
I guess so. Important thing is that second Medea towards the end, tried to encourage him to get off his clothes, the long clothes, long gowns, and then ask him to get on a ship and making journey together again. And then when the light is darkened, they try to see more of a new territory, a new possibility. And we don't know whether it'll be good or not, but I think we need to make that journey. Otherwise, the meaning of life doesn't, exist anymore.
Can see also one.
그러니까 결국 제이슨이 이하손이 나중에 메데아가 그 저지른 결과에 어떻게 보면 희생양이 된 건데, 결과적으로는 그게 희생양이 된 거지, 아니면 또 다른 어떤 생각이 있는 건지, 그걸 묻고 있는 거예요.
그러니까 저한테 묻는 거예요. 이하손이 희생양이 된 건지.
그러니까 결국은
희생양으로서 이하손을 생각하는지?
아니, 이하손이 저지른 값을 제대로 받은 건지. 왜냐면 모든 걸 사실 잃은 거잖아. 자식도 잃었고, 결혼하려던 공주도 잃었고, 자기 도와주던 그 장인도 잃은 거고.
그렇죠. 그쵸. 모든 걸 이룬 거는 사실이니까, 희생양이 됐지만 사실은 어떻게 보면 이 세상에 너무 많이 일어나는 너무 많은 이하손들이 사실은 있잖아요. 근데 대부분은 잘 산단 말이에요. 그래서 이 극에서는 희생양이 됐지만 실제로는 굉장히 잘 살아가는 이하손들이 많지 않나요? 네.
Sadly enough, it's funny that she's saying this. Even though he was sacrificed in our reality, in our real life, there are too many Jasons. And they are not really going bad, they really live well.
Okay.
So that's what she said. It's funny that the.
Okay, maybe he deserves one every once or so. Okay.
그러니까 이 작품은 사실은 어떻게 보면은 연극이라는 것이 결국은 풍경으로 지나가는 세상이 아니고 어떻게 보면은 이렇게 카페트 밑에 뭐가 깔려 있는데 어떤 진실이라고 해야 될까? 진실일 수 있는 뭔가가 깔려 있는데 카페트 밑에 깔려 있단 말이죠. 근데 이거를 연극 그 카페트를 들추는 거라는 생각이 들어요. 그래서 그 카페트를 들추는 건데, 그러니까 메데아가 현실에서 보면 메데아는 살인마인 거고 이하손이 희생양인데 희생된 사람이고 정말 엄청 재수 없었던 사람인데 왜 그런 여자랑 결혼해서 이런 건데 카페트를 들추고 보면 반드시 그렇다고만은 할 수 없는 무언가가 반드시 그냥 한 줄의 어떤 뉴스 보도로만은 다 설명되지 않는 어떤 그런 이야기를 보다 더 지금 이 작품에서 우리 두메데이아에서는 좀 더 들춰낸 것 같아요. 네.
So, you know, there are, in our society, there should be a truth. And she believes that this media production is trying to reveal that truth. It's hidden under the carpet. We live on the carpet all the time. We sit there, we lie there, we walk there. But there is a truth under the carpet. And this place is trying to uncover those hidden truths. That truth sort of encourages us to reflect ourselves on stage. And somehow, you know, Medea is a murderer. And Jason is sacrificed. But in reality, is Medea a real murderer? And by revealing those kind of hidden truths, we see the hidden truths that our society all the time try to, you know, covers.
And can you tell us a bit this whole thing with the double? She's playing Medea and there's also another actress playing her double. Sometimes they even interact with each other. Was that made her part more difficult, easier? How was it?
It's this production we've been performing like more than 15 years. Whenever I meet the second Medea, other Medea, in the beginning period, they have many huge dilemmas, how to portray that second character, and how to confront the other Medea, and how to depart from each other. And you know, instinctively, actresses, they want to portray those both sides of the human, you know, resources, the evil side and angel side, and that also makes the actor energetic and dynamic. It's difficult to hide one side But in this play, we need to find a way, not just a clear division, but when they confront, sometimes those sides, I want them to be mixed somehow and depart from each other. So, because, and also I don't want that distinction so clear. Productively, it can be ambiguous because that's our lives. And so the second Medea is sometimes it's torture, but sometimes it's a good lesson to think about our life, to think about our society, and eventually, you know, I think that the playing second Medea is much more difficult than first Medea.
Can she also reply, how was it for her, this experience of having another playing the same role at the same time on stage?
Yeah. 그러니까 메데아들이 같은 메데아인데 서로 다른 롤을 하면서 쉽지 않았을 텐데 하는 어떤 그렇게 직접 해본 경험은 어땠는지. 그래서 나는 연출가로서는 두 번째 메데아들이 항상 어려움을 겪는다. 그리고 어떻게 보면 더 메데아 2를 연기하기가 더 어렵다. 그리고 많은 메데아들이 그랬고 이번에는 나는 믿는다. 그 길을 찾아갈 거고 그 메데아를 하는 배우에게도 좋은 레슨이 될 거라고 생각한다. 근데 자기 생각이 없다니.
난 정말 메데아 2가 훨씬 나한테 맞는 것 같아요. 나의 기질이.
She thinks that the second Medea 2 is much more appropriate for her.
기질상.
Because of her temper, like because of her character. Yeah.
난 바라보는 걸 좋아하고.
She likes just watching, observing.
막 행동하는 건 해야 되면 하지만.
Instead of acting out, she prefers just watching or observing.
무대에서도 구경하는 걸 좋아하고.
On stage.
다른 배우를 구경하고 관객들을 구경하고 이런 게 더 기질에 맞아. 그게 굉장히 편한 사람이라서. 그래서 근데 이제 메데아 2의 어떤 이 작업이 젊은 배우들에게는 굉장히 뭔가 해야 하는데 뭘 해야 하지 하고 약간 대단히 혼란스러울 수 있는 배역이라 그게 쉽지 않은 배역인 것 같아요. 근데 그게 약간 어떻게 보면 엄마 같은 엄마들이 좀 한국의 엄마들 뭔가 좀 기다려주고 바라봐주고 이런 그 모성을 많이 가지고 있기 때문에 좀 젊은 배우들이 하기에는 쉽지는 않은 지점이 분명히 있다고 봅니다. 네.
She thinks that the second Medea, the job of second Medea might be a little bit difficult for young actors, young growing actors, because the second Medea sometimes needs a kind of, maternity figure, a maternity that we see every day, like Korean mother or Greek mother. They don't act out, like what I said before. Instead, they keep watching her babies. They keep watching what's going on, and they had to do mundanely everyday life, but still, without acting out, they all the time keep watching as a mother. That maternity side, it won't be easy for the young actors that carry out those side, maternity side, because young actors usually feel safer when they act out.
Okay.
So that's what her analysis on the second Medea character, and I agree with it.
And tell me a bit about the music and the sound in general in the stage play, which I feel it's as important as what we are watching, what we are hearing. Can you tell me a bit about what you wanted to do in that department, let's say?
Yeah. Of course, intentionally, music is very important part of this production, and all the sounds. And I wanted to create a sound to create a kind of two different sides of the world. So there's the inside and the yang side. So the yin and yang contrast is quite important. Like when we see every day, we see the sun and the moon, and portray those different sides of Medea. I found out that there's a two distinctive Korean traditional singing method, which is called pansori. It's derived from ordinary people. So they put very primitive emotion into it. So they sometimes shout. Sometimes they change their voice quality. While the other singing tradition, which is called jeonga, is very quiet, not changed voice, with very pure voice quality. So I thought that the pansori singing method, all the time it sounds like it holds a kind of human primitive side, like anger, revenge, and hatred. While I see the jeonga tradition, it's more about coming down. It's more about pure side. It's more about, unseen sort of sound. So I tried to place two singers seeing each other. And then while I'm having two Medeas on stage and not just clearly distinctive from each other, the sound as well. They sometimes, the singer reflects her anger, her sufferings. And while the jeonga singer portrays the other side of very lovable moments, very caring moments. But sometimes they fight each other, the singer, but they are trying to be also to be, harmonized as well. All those, the sound and voice singing, I sort of apply those concepts to each sound and songs. Like when the attacker, they are trying to invade while they are loving each other, and I used metal sound intentionally, and even I asked the actors make the sound with the lips. It's like a conflicting sound. While the other sound is more like a cosmic sound, like aiya, with the vowels and consonants harmonized together. So those contrasting sound it was very important part in this production.
Okay, and one more general question this time. You told me that you have been collaborating for years with the two of you. So how has this collaboration changed through the years? Has it become better, worse, the same? What would you say?
It was a long time ago. When she was really young. But I've been seeing her performing on stage quite for a long time. I'm just I don't evaluate actually her acting. I just see the positive side of our journey. Then I think, even though she looks very young, like a kid, but she's getting matured and matured. So she knows how to enjoy very specific moment to moment. That's very important aspect of the actors. And sometimes I like a certain type of actors who give me an inspiration, not just as a director and as a person. And when I discover those, inspirational moments, it makes me like proud of being a theater person because I'm learning. I'm not really forcing actors. I'm trying to encourage them to get something from inside. And it's not easy. It's not easy, and it requires everyday training, not just physical training. Also, it requires a kind of mental training every day. But I think she's a kind of performer who gives me an inspiration, so I enjoy it.
Can she also reply the same question? How is her collaboration with you? How does she feel about it?
아주 어렸을 때 만났고 계속 서로 알아왔고 그런다는데 이번에 같이 이렇게 협력해서 작업하는 게 배우로서는 어떠냐고. 나는 이제 그거를 노력하려고 평생을 몇십 년을 같이 하는 배우를 보면서 그 무대에서 영감을 얻고 그 영감을 주는 배우들을 좋아하는데 지금 네가 그러고 있다. 그래서 나는 이 순간들을 좀 즐기고 있다.
연극을 시작하게 된 계기가 어릴 때 이 선배님의 작품을 출연하면서 내가 너무 연기를 못하는구나 이걸 알고 연기란 게 어떤 거길래 내가 이렇게 못하지? 하면서 시작을 했어요.
Yeah, her debut was a theatrical debut was with my production. It was written by Brett. The title was "A Man Is a Man," and she believed that she started her acting career because she thought that she was so bad on stage at that time when she was young. So she's trying to escape from those unbearable moments. So she thinks that I want to learn acting like in a right way. So the working in the very beginning moment that somehow it inspires her to be a more serious actress. That's what she said.
이번에 이제 아주 오랜만에 만나서 이제 작업을 하면서 이렇게 배우들의 살아있는 에너지를 끌어내기고 배우들의 어떤 의견의 소통이 정말 진정하게 잘 들어주는 그리고 그거에 따라서 굉장히 뭐랄까 어떤 나의 어떤 연출 라인으로 그냥 배우를 쓰는 것이 아니라 배우들이 어떻게 내가 만든 판에서 제대로 놀 수 있을까를 생각하는 연출로 만나게 돼서 저는 너무 감사하다는 생각이 많이 들어요.
She feels grateful that instead of a director forcing actors praying on stage just under the guide of the direction, instead of doing that, the director of Medea, me, not just forcing the actors, but I get the sort of like playing ground ready for actors, and then try to get the essence from each actors. And I'm just trying to be open all the time. That's what she feels. So she really enjoyed that, not just forcing actors to be armed with like deep thoughts or ideas, but on the ground she can play around, and the director sort of not just utilizing actors, but encouraging actors and get some idea, and sometimes I sort of change the direction according with the actor's presence. So she feels thankful and grateful that we meet again for this production.
And one more general question. How is life now for a stage play director and a stage play actress? Does it make sense financially? Are there opportunities? How is it?
Financially, it's a disaster. But, you know, it's not just recently. It's from the moment that I decided to be a theater person, as an actor and as a director. I started my career early 80s, and then because I was majoring in economics, and there was a lot of a good opportunity to make money and to become a rich man, but I sort of give up the money things and then put my energy on stage. It's been like more than 30 years, and I never, you know, regret. Even though I know it's not really convenient, because I now, as a leader of a theater company, sometimes I need money. At least treat my actors to some restaurants. I want them to stay in a nicer hotels, but that's sometimes I feel inconvenient. But as a person, you know, I enjoy it. You know, I'm a little bit becoming wiser that money cannot buy anything. Money can buy things a little bit more, but money cannot buy my soul. Buy her soul. So, you know, if we have that opportunity that we can exchange our souls, that's just our luck to live this world. 그냥 연극인으로 배우로 세상 살아가는데 경제적으로 살만하냐?
네, 살만합니다.
Yeah.
연습을 하고 있으면 연습을 하고 있고 건강하면 많은 돈이 필요 없어요. 돈 쓸 시간이 없어요.
She doesn't need money while she's on stage, while she's rehearsing. She doesn't have time to expend money. So she feels all right.
Okay, all right. But let us say, how much should she play, let's say, to make a living? Like, how many shows must an actress give every year, let's say, to sustain herself?
Actually, it's a paradox that the more that we work on stage, the worse our lives.
You are masochists, essentially.
그러니까 몇 편이나 해야 뭐 좀 경제적으로 유지가 되고 이러냐 연극을 하는데 많이 할수록 재정 상황은 더 안 좋아진다고.
Okay, all right, okay. And last question, I guess, can you tell me a bit about your future projects? What are you going to do after this?
Even though, like what I said, you know, working on a collaboration project abroad, it excites me, and it really interests me, but it doesn't make a lot of money. So I'm all the time, you know, think about the value of why we are collaborating. So fortunately, there are a lot of good, excellent offers from abroad. Like next year, there's a production, Hamlet under Avatar. Hamlet Avatar will be invited to Hong Kong Shakespeare Festival in June 2024. And then this production will be invited to Hong Kong again. And there was an offer from Japanese theater company to collaborate with Korean and Japanese actors together for the new works. We are considering the 12th Night by Shakespeare, and the premiere will be with Japanese actors and the Korean steps. The second process of the collaboration will be actors together, steps together, and we can perform both in Japan and both Korea, possibly in Poland or Greece.
Okay. Okay.
And that's our new production. And there's another offer from, probably Poland, collaboration with Poland somehow, but we don't have a clear plan yet. So there are a lot of good opportunities, and I'm all the time, she and I, as a sort of teacher for the young theater people, we try to create our acting workshop all the time. So we want to make annual season of acting workshops. So that's very important part of our theater job, as an artist, theater artist.
So she will be working with you on this project, or is she doing something else?
Together we are doing acting workshop.
Okay, all right. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry for taking so long.
No, it's fine.
Okay. It's okay.
We enjoyed.
감사합니다.
Okay, all right. So